I'm Tiana B, and today we're going to do a basic body scan. So this is something you can do first thing in the morning when you wake up, and something you should also do before going to bed. Why? Because this helps you generate body awareness. It forces you to stop and pay attention to what you're feeling in your body, so that when you go to train or work out or warm up, you have way more information because you were listening to what your body was trying to tell you. So this one is a basic head to toe body scan. You want to start standing. And we're just going to do head circles, both counter and clockwise. Clockwise and counterclockwise. And you just want to pay attention to how your neck feels. Are there any hitches? Is it smooth? And it's perfectly normal for both sides to be different. All right, right ear to right shoulder, while pulling your left shoulder down and away. You should be able to feel that stretch along your neck. And just take note of how that actually feels. Now we're going to look as far to the left as we can. Come back to the center and look as far to the right as we can. And just pay attention to if you have more mobility, more range of motion from one side to the other. Moving down to our shoulders, we're going to do shoulder circles, both forward and backwards. And just pay attention. We're going to alternate. Moving forward and alternate backwards. Was that easier for you? More difficult? Just pay attention. Don't judge, just pay attention. Arms. Full arm circles. Forward and backward. I'm clicking quite a bit. Backwards. Okay, let's take the left arm up, bend the elbow, use your right hand to pull your elbow gently. Don't force anything, but pull your elbow gently towards the right. See how that feels. You can also, if you have more flexibility here, grasp hands like so. Just see how that feels. Then release and switch sides. Right arm up, bends at the elbow, left hand grabs right elbow and pulls gently to the left. If you clasp hands on the other side, attempt to clasp hands on this side. Again, it might be different. Just make a mental note of how it's different. Then release. We're going to take the left arm and cross over the body. Keep your hips pointing forward. Sometimes we tend to twist here, and that really takes the stretch out of the arm where we want it. And then switch. All right, we'll check the elbows. Doing elbow circles, biceps, triceps, then switch. Biceps, triceps. All right, everything good in the upper body. We're gonna move down to the hips. You wanna stand a little bit farther than shoulder width apart. So this would be shoulder width, so your stance is a little bit wider than that. And we're gonna tilt to the right. Okay, and so you're gonna do the circle, back, left, front. So almost like four corners, but make a circle out of it, which makes sense in my head, so I hope it makes sense to you. You really just wanna push to all those sides. and see how that feels. Maybe you feel it in your hamstrings. Then switch sides. Left, back, right, front, and center. Now release your hands. I like to put my hands behind me. Some people like to put their hands back on their hips. We're gonna do trunk circles to check in with our torsos. So come down and around. Don't pinch your lower back, just come down and around. We'll do 5 in this direction. And then we switch directions. If you feel it in your knees, unlock your knees a little bit. Okay. So hips and torso we take care of. Now we're moving to the quads. Today, we're just going to stand and do the most common quad stretch. And plus, this helps us get a feel for what kind of balance we're working with. So grab your left foot behind you in this quad stretch. And just feel. Don't try to pull yourself into any kind of crazy position. We don't want tension. We don't want strain. We just want to feel what our body's working with. Okay, drop your left foot. Switch feet. Again, both sides may feel similar. They might be drastically different. Don't judge that. Just take a note of it. That'll be important for you when it comes time to do your warm up or your next training session. Okay, hamstrings. We're gonna do a little differently. So bend your knees first, like this. Then push your butt as far back as you can, like this. And then release your hands to the floor, if you can. If you can't, stay here, stay here. Especially if it's first thing in the morning, you don't want to go right into a really deep hamstring stretch, because static stretching on cold muscles is not a good idea. Now, as you're standing here, you might feel the tension begin to melt away. So let's do dynamic. Let's warm it up a little more. That means straighten your legs a bit and bend them back. Straighten them, bend them back. Straighten them a little bit, bend back. You'll feel this a little bit closer to the back of your knee than in the belly of the hamstring, which is good because we tend to neglect that area of the hamstring. And that's a place where a lot of sprinters and jumpers feel a lot of issues, is back here in this area. So we're going to get to it. Okay, bring that to a close and walk your hands forward and your legs back. Now we're in like a downward facing dog looking yoga position. But we're here so that we can stretch and check in with our calves. So come up on your right toes and then down. Left toe and then down. You can come up on both if you can, then down. Make sure you're pushing into both of your palms into the floor, because that'll help you find length, stability, and a bigger stretch in your calf. All right, we're gonna walk the left foot a little closer to the center of the mat, or the floor, whatever. And we're gonna push the heel as far down to the floor as possible. Now raise your right leg. You don't have to raise it up like this, just raise a little bit. And you can maybe even rest it on your left foot and help the stretch a little bit. But again, don't go too hard, just enough to see what you're working with in your calf. Let that go, walk it out, switch sides. Push that heel as far to the floor as possible. Raise that left up and maybe even help add some resistance Release that. Pedal your feet. Stay here. And walk your hands back to your feet. And now we're in a full hamstring stretch. But we warmed up to it. From here, you're gonna put your hands on your hips. Look up, engage your core, and then rise up. There's only one more thing to check, and that's our ankles. So let's do that with some ankle circles in both directions. Perfect. Listen to your body today.